Congressman, stay right there because I want to bring in our panel now for more on Mike Pompeo's foreign policy hurdles and more. Fox political contributor Tammy Bruce. He's also Independent Women's Voice president, and Fox News contributor Angela McGlowan is with us as well. Angela.
Yes.
You're a D.C. gal.
Yes, I am. Gal, thank you.
I mean, never a dull moment. Literally, never a dull moment.
No.
So all these things that are going on, Mike Pompeo certainly getting off to an amazing start on foreign policy in the State Department. But what about everything else?
Well, he's a gifted leader, and he's a proven communicator. He's extraordinary when it comes to intercommunication skills and social skills. And I think we have our chief diplomat, but not only our chief diplomat, our chief strategist. He brought the Congress together, 57-42. So I think that this is the guy that's going to bring the foreign policy team together. The president trusts him. He's a proven leader and a proven patriot.
What do you make of the changes on President Trump's legal team? And what's the narrative in D.C. about whether or not he should actually go and allow himself to be interviewed by Mueller?
Now, look, I'm from the school. I'm just speaking from Angela McGlowan School of Alan Dershowitz. I would not go and speak before the special prosecutor. I would not go before Mueller. What I would do is submit the questions publicly and have the public decide. And the questions that the president doesn't want to answer, then put why he doesn't want to answer them. I think it's great that he has Giuliani on his team. He is the president's ally. He is a proven prosecutor. And as America's mayor, he got the job done. And it's time for us to get over the Russian collusion shenanigans and get down to it. And Flood, he's a bipartisan lawyer. He was what, Cheney, Bush, also Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
And worked for Scalia. So I think we're on the right track.
Tammy?
Yeah, I agree completely with all of that. At the same time, the issue with Mueller is about getting answers to questions. It should not be for the president an interrogation.
Yes.
You can get answers to questions in written form. If you have someone sitting in front of you, it turns into an interrogation. That is an insult to the office of the presidency. It is certainly a risk. It may even be, to some degree, when it comes to the questions that are answered, unconstitutional about what you ask the president and what you want him to then lay bare to people who are not in a position to where they should hear these things. And we need to at least protect the office in that regard. At the same time, I think that when it comes to Rosenstein and all of the arguments that are happening, this still remains theater. His remarks have been kind of shocking. In his same commentary about that he's not going to be extorted by Congress, he questioned the congressional right to have oversight over the nature of his department, I think maybe of any department, saying that it was not really constitutional, but something that has been applied over time. Though that becomes a question when it comes to whether or not he takes seriously questions coming in from Congress.
Then, of course,
Charles, may I just say this, please? Civics 101, you have executive, judicial, legislative. Congress has oversight. So extortion is not extortion when Congress asks for papers that technically belong to the American people.
And then, of course, there's a role of what President Trump may do, because he put out some pretty cryptic tweets this morning. One, he talked about the rigged system with respect to why so much redacting, unequal justice. Then another one I thought was really interesting, Congressman. The questions are an intrusion into the president's Article 2 powers under the Constitution to fire any executive branch employee. At this point, he was quoting, of course, Joe Genova. Would it be wise to fire anyone? Would it be wise to fire Mueller or Rosenstein at this point of this whole saga?
Well, at the heart of the problem, you have an attorney general in Jeff Sessions who's there in name only. I mean, he's recused himself out of the most important thing that he has to do at the Department of Justice. So if you're going to have Rod Rosenstein and he's not going to not going to adhere to a congressionally issued subpoena, which is a duly issued subpoena, then he too should probably go. He has no interest in actually providing the documents. And isn't it rich that Rosenstein writes the memo suggesting that Comey be fired, only to now have a special prosecutor put in place by Rosenstein, who's now looking at President Trump for firing somebody. I mean, you can't write a Hollywood script. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, there is also, though, we must remember things we can do and things we should do.
Okay.
So we have the political framework. Of course he could fire him. And then we have to deal with the politics of it, which is what's going to be done with that. Secondarily, when it comes to now, we know one cryptic tweet was about the fact that the memo that will not be released to Congress is the one that explained the expanse of what Mueller is allowed to do. And Rosenstein says they will not release that because there's something about a criminal probe that then is involved in that as well. This is why Congress is angry. This is a key part of what is of interest to us regarding Mueller, and that's what they're refusing to release.
Charles, no one is above the law, and we have the right to know what really went on. And thou protest too much. What do you have to hide?
Are you saying that for President Trump or to Rosenstein? Who would that be addressed to? To all of the above? Okay, Rosenstein.
He was the one who said extortion. Did our president say extortion?
I got you.
So I'm happy that Giuliani's on the team. He's going to get the job done because it's time for the president to run this country.
And maybe as opposed to articles of impeachment, maybe it worked with Eric Holder. Maybe they should have moved toward a contempt of Congress at this point. But, you know, so the word's out there now, extortion, and the Republicans need to take this conversation back.
Thank you all very, very much. Really